Hello students, the topic about which today we are going to learn is operators in Java. Now, as you know, like in maths you use operators in the similar way, in Java language also operators are used. So let us know what are operators and operand. An operator is basically a symbol or token which performs arithmetic or logical operations and gives meaningful result. The value that are involved in the operation are termed as operands. So what are expression? An expression is formed by the combination of operators and operand. For example, x plus y is an expression in which x and y are the operand and plus is the operator used for addition purpose. Similar way, a plus b into c. In this expression, we have a, b and c as the operands and plus and into are the operators. Let us know the difference between arithmetical expression and arithmetical statement. An arithmetical expression may contain variables, constants, and arithmetic operator together to produce a meaningful result. When this result is assigned to a variable, then it is known as arithmetic statement. For example, 4 into x is an arithmetical expression which is assigned to a variable y, so it becomes together an arithmetical statement. In the next example, a equals to b into c plus d is an example of arithmetical statement where b into c plus d is the arithmetical expression. You should know that in Java, 8 types of operators are used. They are arithmetical operators, relational operator, logical operator, assignment operator, new operator, dot operator, shift operator, and bitwise operator. We will be learning about the first 6 types of operators because shift operator and bitwise operator is not there in your syllabus. Now, previous question you have already learned about the arithmetical operator equals to sign. You need to know that the equals to sign is an assignment operator which is used to assign the value in the right hand side. It may be an expression or a value which is assigned to the variable in the left hand side. Like in the example, 4 into x is an arithmetical expression which is assigned to the variable y with the help of the assignment operator equals to. The arithmetical operator is classified into 3 categories: the unary operator, the binary operator, and the ternary operator based on the number of operands they work upon. The unary operator acts on one operand. The examples are plus a is an example of unary plus, minus a is an example of unary minus. A plus plus is an example of post increment, plus plus a an example of pre increment. A minus minus is an example of post decrement. Minus minus a is an example of pre decrement. Now, what's the difference between unary plus and minus? Unary plus doesn't change the value of the variable, but unary minus changes the value in the variable. That is, if a positive 4 is given, then in case of unary plus it will be not changed, but in unary minus the result will become minus 4. Similar way, when minus 7 is assigned to the variable a, in unary minus the result will be a positive 7. What is a binary operator? The binary operator works on 2 operands. There are 5 types of binary operator. Plus is used to find the sum of 2 values, minus to find the difference of 2 values, into to find the product of 2 values. The slash sign is used to find the quotient when a is divided by b, and modulus to find the remainder when a is divided by b. Let us now learn about pre-increment, post-increment. Now, as you can see, this is an example of pre-increment, and the next one we have an example of post-increment. The rule of pre-increment is first change, then use, and the rule of post-increment is first use, then change. Now, in both the cases, you will find the value assigned to variable A4 will increase by one value and the result will become 5. So what is the difference between pre-increment and post-increment? Now we can see in the left hand side, we will be doing using an expression using the pre-increment, and in the right hand side, we will be doing solving an expression using the post-increment. Now, as in case of the pre-increment, the value will first change. So A will change, or you can say it increases by one value, so it will become 4. Then it is used. So now the value 4 comes over here. B's value is substituted as 4 as no operation happens on it. And now the change value of A, that is 4, that will be coming in this expression. So we will get C equals to 16, this is plus 16 plus 4. So the result will be C will become 20. Whereas in case of post increment, the rule says C equals to A plus plus. Post increment rule is first use. So the value of A will come as 3, then change. So now when plus plus is encountered, it will become 4. And then B's value is substituted as it is. And then now the change value of A, that is 4, will come. So C will now become 12 plus 4, giving me a result 16. Now you can see in both the cases, you can see in the left hand side we have done using the pre-increment, in the right hand side we have done using the post-increment. Now this is an example of pre-increment. Here you can see the value of 4 was first changed. The value of variable A was first changed, or you can say increased to 1, and then it was used. But in case of post, it was first used as 3 because the initial value of A was 3. Then it later changed to 4, which is reflected in the second time when the variable was used. So in similar way, the post increment and post decrement and pre decrement work. We can do a similar, we can do a program based on that. We'll slightly change the question, minus minus A. Now when we'll be solving it, now C, as we know the rule is the initial value was 3 in both the cases. Now the rule of pre-decrement will be the same way. We will be changing over here. This is an example of pre-decrement. The rule remains the same. That is, in case of pre-decrement also, we have the same rule. First change, then use. In case of post-decrement, first use, then change. So over here, the value of A will reduce by one value. So A will change to 2. Then it is being used over here as 2 into variable, the value of B, that is 4. It is just substituted as it is, and then the value 2 comes over here. But in case of a post decrement, we see over here, C's value will remain unchanged. It will come as 3. Then it will change to 2. Then it is multiplied to the value 4. Then now the new value will be used over here. So the value in this case will be, C will be 8 plus 2. That will give me the result 10. Whereas in post decrement, we get C equals to 12 plus 2, giving me the result 14. So you understand now the difference between the pre decrement and the post decrement in just like similar way like the pre increment and post increment, the value over here will reduce by one value in case of decrement, but the rule remains the same. Always remember, the rule of pre is first change then use. In case of post, it is first use then change. Now, to know the difference between a counter and an accumulator, let us first run a program. I create a program. Let's say I name it as program PRG. I open my editor screen. Remove these comments as we don't need it. This is already the class has been declared, and this is the opening of the class block. Then I define a class, define a method called main. You can public is my access specifier. Static I write over here so that automatically JVM will call the main method without creating any objects. This is the method declaration of main. Then this is the opening parenthesis of the method block. I take two variables. C is for counter, A variable is for my accumulator. I'll be showing you the difference between counter and accumulator with the help of the for loop. In for loop, I will be taking a variable I to generate all the numbers between 1 to 10. This is my test expression in the for loop, and this is my updation. I write I plus plus, so every time it will increase by 1. This is the opening parenthesis for the for block. Within it, I'll print. Okay, you can see over here, we can do one thing. First, we will be assigning the counter, and the accumulator will show all the values. I will be added. So system.out.println will write a message I equals to plus I. Here plus is my concatenation operator. It is concatenating a text message with a variable. Again, I give a text expression that is the value of C counter, or you can write very clearly counter equals to, again I'm concatenating the variable C. Again, I write over here my accumulator. End of my fourth block, end of my method block, end of my class block. Let's compile the program. It shows no syntax error. Now, no need of directly the main method will be called by JVM. You can see over here, when i's value is 1, counter is increasing by 1. Accumulator is also 1. But next we say when I becomes true, counter becomes true, because counter is counting how many times the I value is increasing. In both the cases, we had seen that the updation was plus plus, so it will increase by 1 value. But accumulator, what happens over here? 3 is there. That means it is 1 plus 2, 3. I's previous value, A's value was 1. So now I's value, when I have added, it becomes 1 plus 2, that is 3. Next, I's value is 3, counter increases to 3 again, but accumulator, which was 3, will now add the value of I next 3, and we get it 6. In this way, it works. Now, to do a dry run for you, to understand it better, I'll be just writing over here, under I, when I is 1, your counter is also increasing to 1. Accumulator becomes 0 plus 1, because the original value of accumulator was 0. So you can see Why 1 1 it is coming? I is also plus plus, updation is one value. Over here also post increment one value. So both are matching. Next, when I is becoming 2, my counter also becomes same way. It becomes 2. But my accumulator will become, previous value of accumulator was 1. It will become 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So over here, when I will become 3, my counter will also become 3. But my accumulator, which had 3 originally, will now have added value 3 and it becomes 6. Next, when i's value become 4, counter will increase by 4 and my accumulator will become 6 plus 4, that is equals to 10. Now the next value of I, when it becomes 5, similar way, the counter also increases to 5 and then the accumulator what will become? The original value, previous value of accumulator 10 plus 5 plus 50. So it goes on increasing. So you understand the difference? Counter is counting how many times the I value is increasing. So it is matching with the I value, but the accumulator is storing the sum or accumulating the values of I. That is 1, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, and it goes on in this way. So you had seen that was the reason the output had come in that way. So we'll delete these lines. Yes, we'll compile it once again. We will see the result once again. Now in the terminal window you can see counter is matching with the value of I because it was increasing every time I was increasing, but accumulator went on accumulating all the values of I. So the value of the accumulator is changing every time. Okay, so now let's understand the difference between counter and accumulator. Counter are numeric variable which are used for keeping a record of the number of times a process is repeated. Like in a program, I was changing for 10 times. So the counter had also changed for 10 times. A counter is initialized with a numeric value and it increases as the process starts. You can initialize it with 0, you can initialize it with 1, and then you can increase it either C++, it will increase by 1 value. If you can write C plus equals to 2, then it might increase with 2 value. So C is referred as a counter in the program. But in contrast, what is an accumulator? An accumulator is a numeric variable. When defined within a program, it keeps on changing or getting updated with the counter or some other value supplied as input. In a program, we had used accumulator to show the value of I, which was updating every time. So S, in a question we had used the variable A equals to A plus I we had mentioned. So in this example, S is initial value 0. Every time it gets updated with the value of A. So S is the accumulator in this example. What are shorthand assignment operator? As in arithmetic operators, when you use plus equals to, that is, it will represent A plus equals to B will represent you A equals to A plus B. This is a shorthand sign that we use. Like in English, you have that will not, willn't, will and apostrophe T. In that way, shorthand operators are also used in Java. Minus equals to is a shorthand for A minus equals to B is a shorthand for A equals to A minus B. Similar way, A into equals to B is a shorthand for A equals to A into B. You can use it in your programs. Now this is an example of a program that illustrates binary operator. 5 types of binary operators are there here that you need to know. variable has a value 7 assigned to it, B variable has the value 8 assigned to it. You can see the sum is the message in system.out.println. Plus is the concatenation operator over here. The first plus is the concatenation operator. Within bracket, there is an expression of A plus B, which is concatenated with the message. So the result will be the sum equals to 15. The difference equals to -1. In that way, it goes on. So what are ternary operator? Now, ternary operator works on 3 operands, and it is also called the conditional assignment because the value assigned to a variable depends upon logical expression. That means it has a test expression. If the result is true, then the expression following the question mark will be followed. Else, the colon is for the else part. The expression 2 will be followed if the condition is false. For example, character C, it is the variable that we have, equals to will take which value? It will take if 6 greater than 9. Here the condition is false. So it will show the value f, that is after the colon sign. The next example we have integer a equals to 5, b equals to 3. Here the condition is true. So after the question mark, we have the variable a. So c will take the value in the variable a. So c will become 5. So c will show the value 5. So you need to understand in ternary operator, it can be either printed, it can be assigned to a variable, but the condition is a test expression is there, then the question mark is there. Following the question mark, the true expression is there. Following the colon, the false expression is there. And whichever, depending upon the test expression, it will be implemented. What are relational operator? They determine the relation among different operand. Already in maths, you have solved these kinds of expressions where you had questions as such. They don't work on strings. They always return a Boolean type of value that is either true or false. There are 6 relational operator: greater than sign, less than sign, greater than equals to sign, less than equals to sign, not equals to sign, and equals to sign. Like we had done a program right now over here. If you remember, we had used a relational operator that is less than equals to 10. That means this looping, this is an example of a loop. The looping will go till the value of I is less than 10. That means between 1 to 10, whatever value is there, it will be solved. When 11 will come, then it will end the loop because the expression becomes false. What are logical operator? Java uses logical operators like and, or, and not. The representation of and is double ampersand. For or, it is double straight line, and for not, it is a question, exclamation mark. The operators also yield same Boolean result, true or false, depending upon the outcome of different condition. Now, you should know the precedence of logical operators: first not, then and then the or. Next we have what's a new operator. Now new operator, it is used to create an instance or an object of a class and allots memory to that object. The syntax is class name, then we have the object name. Equals to is the assignment operator. New is the operator, or you can see this is the operator that will create an object of the class name. For example, here PRG is the class name. P1 is the object name. New is the operator used to create an object of the class PRG. This is a syntax. Class name object name equals to new class name. Dot operator, already you have used it in system.out.println. It is used to access individual data members of a class. It can be a method, it can be a variable also. Object name dot member variable, object name dot member method. You should always remember method, it has a opening bracket and a closing bracket. You can see example, P1 is an object, dot val is a variable over here which shows the value 6. Whereas P1 dot input, over here input is a method which is being assigned, or it has a value 5 and 6. Two values 5 and 6. Now, what is operator precedence and associativity? Operator precedence, just like in your maths, you have the BODMAS rule. In the Java, we have to determine the order in which operators in an expression are evaluated. It follows the Bedmar's rule. Here, first B stands for bracket, E stands for exponent, that is increment and decrement. Then we have the division or the multiplication. Then we have the addition subtraction. Then we have relational operator. Next we have the logical operators. And then we have the assignment operator. So when an expression in operators in an expression have the same precedence, the associative rule determines the order of operation. That means you can see in the example A equals to B plus C minus G. Here plus and minus are of the same precedence. So when you put a bracket before C, first C minus G will be solved, then the result will be added to the variable B. Already we know what is an expression. It is a combination of operators and operands. So what is the difference between pure expression and mixed expression? These are two categories of expressions. Pure expression is an expression wherein all the operands are of the same data type. You can see A, B, C, D, all are of the same data type, integer. But in mixed expression, it is an expression where the operands are of different data type. Like you can see in the example, A and B belong to the integer data type, but C and D belong to the double data type. So when they come together, it will be a mixed expression. So when a mixed expression comes, type conversion comes into light. That is, the process of converting one predefined data type into another is known as type conversion. There are two types of type conversion, implicit and explicit. In case of implicit conversion, it is performed by the compiler. It is known as coercion. Smaller data types are promoted to bigger data type. Like in example, we have integer a equals to 5. When we will assign that integer variable to a double type of variable, a will become converted to the double data type. But explicit, it is performed by the programmer and is also known as typecasting. It uses the cast operator, that is, we need to within bracket the data type to which it has to be converted, that has to be mentioned. That is called as the cast operator. Like in the example, integer a is of integer data type, double d is of double data type. So forcibly we are converting d by assigning the cast operator int within bracket and storing it in the variable integer kind of variable a. With the help of an example, we'll understand this one. I'll write a program prg1. Remove these comment lines. Start a method by declaring a method public static void main integer a equals to 5 comma b equals to 0, and we have double value double c equals to 7.5 comma d equals to 0. Now first I'll be doing an implicit conversion. In implicit conversion, as we had understood, in case of implicit conversion, Java compiler will do the conversion. Smaller data type are promoted to bigger data type. So I'll be writing over here, D is of double data type. I'll be storing the value A in it. This is an example of my implicit conversion. Now next, in B, which is an integer kind of variable, will be storing the value C. And next we will print the value system.out.println. Okay, here when I have done, it is getting converted from a higher data type. Double is of a higher data type to integer. I need to mention the cast operator int over here. Int is my cast operator over here. I'm printing the value D. In the next line, I'll print the value B. I'll compile the program. Okay, I missed out on the dot operator over here. No syntax errors. Here is a program. We'll run it once. The terminal window. You can see the result 5.0. Now here you need to see now 5 was our integer kind of value. 5 was a integer kind of value, but when we converted it to double, so when it is being printed, 5.0 is being printed because it has been implicitly converted to double kind of value. And then we see 7.5, which was double kind of value, that when it is converted to integer, only the integer part is visible. That is the 0.5, the decimal part is not visible because in the line b equals to int c, we have done conversion from a higher data type to a lower data type using the cast operator int. So this is how it works, implicit and explicit conversion. Okay. Next we come to, already you know now what's a cast operator. Within bracket, a data type is known as cast operator. It is a unary operator. It is used by the programmer to perform explicit conversion. What are Boolean expression? The expression that gives a result in the form of true or false are called as Boolean expression. Like age, you enter any age. If greater than equals to 18, it will give a result true. If not less than, not greater than 18, it returns the result as false. Similar way you can see over here, relational operator and logical operator together it has been used and it will give a Boolean expression. What is the difference between slash and modulus? You know, slash is division operator and it gives the quotient of the division. Modulus operator, percentage is the modulus operator, gives the remainder of the division. Equals to is an assignment operator used to assign the value to a variable. Always you need to remember, value is in the right hand side, variable is always there in the left hand side. Double equals to, it's an equality operator, relational operator. It returns a Boolean result, either true or false. What is the difference between prefix and postfix? Prefix operators rule is change then use. Postfix, it is used and changed. The operator comes first in case of the prefix, then the operand comes in case of postfix. Operator comes after the operand. Difference between print and println. Print, the cursor remains on the same line after printing the string. Println, it moves to the next line after printing the string. Let's solve an exercise. What does the following mean? Car OB equals to new car. It means an object named OB is being created of the class type car. Next question, what is the use and syntax of ternary operator? It can be used in place of the if-else and it offers more concise and compact code. Now in the third question, we have a ternary expression. The variable A is declared of Boolean data type. So in the ternary expression, 35 is greater than 16. It is true. So after the question mark, the expression has the true. That is why the result is true. What types of conversion are these? The first is an example of typecasting where we use the cast operator integer. It is being converted to it is being converted from higher data type double to lower data type int. In the next expression, it is a variable x which has been assigned the value 19 of data type integer is being converted to long. So it's an example of implicit conversion or coercion. Arrange the operators in order of precedence, higher to lower. First comes the plus plus, the increment operator, then comes the modulus, then comes the relational operator, and at the last comes the logical operator. Thank you, students.